ചേട്ടാ
Incoming voice call from Amy's line. Incoming.
സെറ്റിംഗ്സ് വീഡിയോ 1920-19 1920-19 എക്സ്പെക്ട് റെസൊല്യൂഷൻ മാച്ച് നോട്ട് ഡൗൺലോഡിംഗ് സ്ക്രീൻ ബേസിക് റെസൊല്യൂഷൻ 1920x1080. വീഡിയോ സെറ്റിംഗ്സ് അല്ലല്ല
Now, the formal proceedings of Convocation 2024 are about to begin. Let us take a moment to invoke the blessings of the Almighty. Kindly rise for the prayer. symbol of rightness and prosperity. Feeling prosperous begins from within. If you can get your mind right, you can attract all that you want in life. Similarly, blessings in our life bring in our life prosperity and happiness. Therefore, to make this afternoon a blessed one, I invite our chief guest, Mr. D.K. Matthews, and the dignitaries on stage to light the lamp. Kindly rise for the lighting of the lamp. Therefore, to make this afternoon a blessed one, I invite our chief guest, Mr. D.K. Matthews, and the dignitaries. I invite Dr. John Jones, faculty member ESP, to welcome the gathering. Good afternoon. Respected Chairman of our college, Mr. Jordan Thomas, Chief Guest for the Convocation ceremony, Mr. D.K. Matthews, Founder and Executive Chairman of IBS Group of Companies, Dr. C. Krishna Kumar, Director, ASP, graduating students of 2020 and 2021 batch, MBA and their family. Warm welcome to all to much awaited convocation ceremony of MBA 2020 and 2021 batch of Asian School of Business. Let me begin by extending my heartiest congratulations to the graduating students and their families. I can see the pride and excitement in your faces. This indeed is a memorable day for ASP. It is my privilege to welcome you all formally to this occasion. We are truly honored to have Mr. V.K. Matthews, founder and executive chairman, IBS Group of Companies, as chief guest for the convocation ceremony. As a true icon of Kerala's entrepreneurial spirit, I am sure your presence here would ignite the young minds to dream big. Your association with the institution in various capacities, including as member of our governing body, is a matter of pride to us. With great enthusiasm, we welcome you to this function. Let me welcome the president of today's meeting, Mr. George M. Thomas, our chairman. He is the visionary behind ASP. His commitment to quality education laid the foundation of this institution. He constantly motivates us to think different and encourages us to be the best in the business. It is our pleasure to welcome you, sir. Next, I welcome Dr. C. Krishna Kumar, Director ASP. His dedicated approach in making ASP the best among these schools is driving us forward. Your positivity continues to inspire us every day. A hearty welcome to you, sir. Mr. George, Executive Director, Friends Group of Institutions, is here with us today. Your presence is a sign of commitment and passion of the management in driving the ASP spirit forward. A warm welcome to you, ma'am. I welcome Mrs. Mary George, member of ASP Society, whose loving and caring support has fueled the growth of ASP. Welcome, dear ma'am. I also welcome our invited guests from the group institutions, Mr. Richard Hildren, Principal and Director, Academic Skills Group, Mr. Kaushik Thomas, Chief Advancement Officer, Prince Group, Mr. Sanjay Putaragan, PYP Coordinator, and Mr. Ramesh Nilakan, Consultant Auditor. We are honored with your presence. I welcome this group to my dear faculty colleagues and staff members who have played significant role in molding the students who are sitting here. The institution and the student community owe much to you for your dedicated efforts. Welcome. batch students of ASP along with their families. It is an absolute pleasure to see that the Navy boys and girls have turned into professional young men and women. We are already proud of your achievements and we are sure that you will be our true brand ambassadors. As Peter Drucker said, the best way to predict the future is to create it. I wish you all good luck and extend a warm welcome on your special day. Once again, I welcome each one of you to the convocation ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I invite Dr. C. Krishna Kumar, Director of ASB, to present the annual report.
Very good afternoon to all of you. I would also like to extend a warm welcome to our chief guest, Mr. V.K. Matthews, our chairman, Mr. George L. Thomas, other distinguished guests assembled here, parents, students, and my colleagues at the Asian School of Business. Today, I would like to present the report of activities of the present academic year and the past year. First point is admissions. The changeover to the MBA program from our earlier PGDM program has found acceptance from both students and their parents. The students of the 4th and 5th batches of the MBA program are now studying on campus. Despite reports of a flow of tens of thousands of students from our state to other universities abroad, we are happy to note that the enrollment in the present 2 batches is higher than the average of the first 3 batches. Faculty. The backbone of any management institute is their faculty. We have the full complement of faculty on our permanent roles as per AICTE norms. 50% of our faculty have doctorates and most of the others are on the final stages of getting their doctorates. In addition to our permanent faculty, we regularly get practitioners and specialists from the industry to deliver elective courses whenever required. Research and paper publishing are considered to be activities critical to the development of any business school. We have started to give focus to this area and 30 papers have been published in reputed journals by our faculty team. They have also participated in quite a few academic conferences during the past 2 years. A distinguishing feature of our MBA program is that we deliver an industry-oriented program that helps the students understand the connect between theory and practical requirements of the business. Our faculty, with a combined industry experience of over 110 years, helps us deliver such program effectively. Members of our faculty is also part of the board of studies and syllabus setting committees of other major universities in the region. ASP faculty members Professor Madhava Chandra Kurup and Professor Lakshmi R. Kumar led the MSME Rejuvenation Program for Balagrampuram Handloom Cluster under the One District, One Idea ODOI project organized by KDISC, the strategic think tank of the government of Kerala. The 2 projects led by ASB are among the 9 shortlisted among 67 entries for the final round of the ODOI project with an overall funding of 13 lakh rupees from KDISC. Accreditations. We are applying for the NAC accreditation this academic year. We will also be applying for the MBA accreditation very soon. As we went through the activities of consolidating the required documents, we realized that they are helping us to make the programs more process-driven and systematic. Placements. The prime reason any student joins a business school is to get a good job at the end of their studies. Our placement team, headed by Professor Lakshmi R. Kumar, has been doing a commendable job for the past many years. In 2020 and 21 batch of MBA students, over 95% of those who wanted a job could get placed in good corporates. This year, the situation is slightly different. Reports from across the country indicate that even premier institutes of national importance are finding it difficult to place all their students or even to find internships for all of them. Compared to most of the other colleges in the region, our placement season has started well and still we are getting inquiries from good organizations. This year, too, companies like Federal Bank, Asian Paints, Berger Paints, ICICI Prudential, Airtel, Vodafone Idea, TCS, ESAF Bank, Bajaj Life Insurance, JK Cement, Lulu Group, and so on have approached us for placements. Companies that have recruited in the past come again year after year. This indicates that our students perform well in these organizations. That makes them come to ASB repeatedly. We have been able to place students in good organizations basically due to the activities and preparation made before they reach the interview stage. It starts with making them read the day's newspaper for at least 30 minutes every day in order to improve their general awareness. To equip them to crack aptitude personal interviews. All these efforts make a difference and give our students higher confidence when they meet the recruiters. Student achievements. Our students regularly participate in management fests and win prizes. They also actively participate in the youth festival organized by the Cochin University of Science and Technology. One of our students, Unikrishnan B, was the Kala Pratibha of the university last year. This year too, our students won prizes in cultural events at the university. Student of the MBA 2021 batch, Subhana Sulfi, was the second prize winner of the statewide paper presentation competition organized by Trivandrum Management Association and the King's Group. Other activities. Our annual undergraduate management fest Constello was held this year. This is a program choreographed and managed by the students with very little input from the faculty team. The objective is to give the students the experience of organizing and managing a major activity. More than 380 students from colleges across Kerala and Tamil Nadu registered for this event. The formal feedback received from the students indicate that they were extremely happy with the quality of events and the hospitality extended by ASB. Socially relevant activities. Blood donation. ASB has an active group of blood donors. 91 students have enrolled in this group and 57 of them have donated blood on 17 different occasions. This selfless activity is highly appreciated. Our students have also participated in the distribution of food packets to needy bystanders of patients at the Regional Cancer Center in Trivandrum. Academic and related collaborations. We have entered into memorandums of understanding with many colleges in this region. The objective is to offer them support in their academic activities. Faculty from ASB has gone to over 15 colleges to offer career guidance to final year undergraduate students. We are also getting into an academic partnership with Alliance University Bangalore and Chandigarh University. The MOU should be signed within the next 2 months. ASB is also a member of the Trivandrum chapter of the Confederation of Indian Industry. Our faculty and students are active participants in the activities of this chapter. The association has opened up internship and placement opportunities to our students. ASB also has a student chapter of Young Indians, the youth wing of CII. We have hosted multiple events of Young Indians at ASB where industry experts have come and given talks to students and interacted with them. ASB also hosted the Trivandrum edition of the Future 3.0 Youth Conclave, a national level workshop organized by Young Indians across 40 cities in India. 150 students from various institutions deliberated on topics like agri-tech, digital economy, education, lifestyle for sustainability and manufacturing. The ideas that emerged on these topics were included in the final report that was submitted to the Ministry of Youth Affairs, Sports and Sports, Government of India. Plans for the future. The new education plan announced by the Government of India is opening up a lot of possibilities for educational institutions. We are also exploring the possibilities of starting new programs that would enable students to become more employable. We have already signed a memorandum of understanding with the London-based Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, CIMA. MBA students who specialize in the area of finance can complete just 2 levels of the Chartered Global Management Accountant, CGMA Finance Leadership Program and earn a dual degree at the coveted Chartered Global Management Accountant (CGMA) designation, along with Associate Chartered Global Management Accountant (ACMA) designation. A final end note, a final piece of advice to students. Whenever I have spoken to you, I have stressed the importance of reading and improving your knowledge on a continuous basis. With rapid changes in technology that we see around us, the need to keep yourself updated is becoming more and more critical. Fortunately, you have more avenues at your fingertips in the form of online resources. Do keep learning, gain new skills whenever required, and most importantly, enjoy the job you're doing. When you enjoy what you do at work, work becomes more like play. I wish you all a very bright, prosperous, and exciting career in the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our chairman, Mr. George M. Thomas, has been championing the cause of quality education and has set up several institutions of eminence. Mr. George M. Thomas is the founder and chairman of Asian School of Business and the Trivandrum International School Group. The Trivandrum International School Group is the first international school in the state of Kerala. In addition to the main campus in Trivandrum, there is a group of early learning centers, including a purpose-built campus in Technopark, Trivandrum. The group extended its presence in Cochin also by establishing the Charter School and the Cochin International School. He is also the founder and chairman of Saif Al Harasi Group of Companies and Burj Oman LLC, which have been actively involved in infrastructure development for different government departments of the Sultanate of Oman for many years. I invite our chairman, Mr. George M. Thomas, to deliver the presidential address.
A very good evening, good afternoon to everyone. The chief guest of the day, Mr. V.K. Matthews, founder and executive chairman, IBS Group of Companies, Dr. C. Krishnakumar, director, ASB, members of the faculty and staff, invited guests, principals of Prince Group of Schools, students of MBA 2022 and 2023 batches, and dear parents. I would like to specially thank Mr. Matthews for taking time out of his extremely busy schedule to be our chief guest today. Since he became a member of our governing body, many positive changes happened to our institution. We are looking forward to his insightful advice in future too. Despite the time and effort required to bring IBS to the level of a global technology giant, Mr. Matthews takes initiatives to support and promote entrepreneurship and startups and other socially relevant activities is quite remarkable. I'm extremely happy to address you all on this significant milestone as we are celebrating the 15th Convocation of Asian School of Business. This occasion marks a significant milestone in the journey of our graduates as they transition from the nurturing environment of academic learning to the vast and dynamic world awaiting them. One of the defining milestones in our journey was the introduction of MBA program in the year 2019 under the Cochin University of Science and Technology, CUSAT. This brought in a new era of growth and expansion for ASB, paving the way for our students to earn a degree that holds great recognition among the corporates. Over these years, we have nurtured a vibrant student community that has made a mark for itself in the world of business. Asian School of Business is in a class apart with our commitment to excellence in infrastructure, faculty, and career placements. Our stakeholders, with their extensive industry experience, bring a unique combination of theoretical knowledge and practical insights to the classroom, ensuring that our graduates are well-rounded professionals. Let me congratulate all of you. Your hard work, perseverance, dedication have culminated in this moment of achievement. Today, we celebrate not only your academic accomplishments, but also your growth as individuals who are poised to make meaningful contributions to the society. Remember that success is not solely defined by the financial accomplishments, but also by the impact you create in the lives of others and in your society. Take pride in your accomplishments, but never lose sight of the importance of humility, empathy, and lifelong learning. I am aware that all of you aspire for a dream job. Make the best of what you get and move on as new opportunities come up. Do not let occasional setbacks pull you down. Try to turn them into opportunities, learn from them and grow. Stay focused, do not give up, success will be yours. It is also worth considering to become an entrepreneur if you feel confident enough, wherein you will become your own boss and create employment opportunities for many others, thereby contributing actively to the economic development of our country as well as fulfilling your social commitments. As the leaders of tomorrow, it is your duty to contribute positively to the world and effect meaningful changes. The world is constantly evolving, presenting new possibilities and challenges. However, I am confident that education, skills and values instilled in you would give you capability to navigate these uncertainties with confidence. As you embark on your professional journey, remember that you bear the responsibility of upholding ASP's legacy, and I have no doubt that you will make us proud like the earlier batches. As we reflect on this momentous occasion, it is essential to acknowledge support systems that have played a pivotal role in shaping the success of our graduates. To the faculty and staff, thank you for your unwavering commitment to excellence in education and for instilling our students the value of integrity, curiosity, and empathy. To the parents, families, and friends of our graduates, your encouragement, sacrifices, and belief in their abilities have been instrumental in their journey. Today is a testament to your unwavering support and love. Dear graduates, as you move on to this new chapter of your lives, remember that the Asian School of Business will forever be your home. Stay connected, continue to learn and grow. May your futures be filled with boundless opportunities, fulfillment, and joy. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, sir. Today we have Mr. V.K. Matthews, the founder and executive chairman of IBS Group of Companies, as our chief guest. Mr. Matthews founded IBS Software in 1997 with a vision to redefine the future of travel through technology innovation. 26 years and 9 strategic global acquisitions later, IBS Software is today one of the most successful travel technology companies in the world, serving over 150 clients, including many of the world's largest and most renowned airlines, airports, ground handlers, hotel companies, cruise lines, and energy companies. IBS Software's business operation is spread across 60 cities in 35 countries, employing over 4,000 professionals from 42 nationalities. IBS Software's global clientele includes 20 of the top 40 airlines, 5 of the top 10 hospitality companies, and 3 of the top 10 oil companies in the world. Mr. Matthews is a thought leader in the global aviation industry and is a regular speaker at various international travel events and seminars. He was the Executive Council member of NASCOM, past chairman of CII, Kerala State, and current chairman of the Group of Technology Companies of Kerala. Mr. Matthews holds a master's degree in aeronautical engineering from the Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, and had an executive management education from Harvard Business School, Boston, USA. I now invite our chief guest, Mr. V.K. Matthews, to deliver the convocation address.
I kept my speaking notes away. Not that I. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. George Thomas, the President of ASB, Krishna Kumar, Director ASB, faculty members, the members of Mr. George's institutions, graduated MBA students, friends, ladies and gentlemen, great pleasure and honor for me to be here to participate in this session. In fact, it was not really that convenient, but Mr. George was after me and was requesting me. So I'm very happy and glad that I'm able to make it for this function. And let me first congratulate all of you, the graduates, who are coming into the world and into the world of business realities. I was just thinking, what is it that I should speak to you? I've addressed convocations before too. And I was just thinking about my own convocation and how did I feel about it? Do I remember anything? And the only thing that I remember during my convocation in IIT Kanpur was that in the convocation address, the chief guest said, but of course everything like all of us are going to speak. But then finally he said, please enjoy the ride. You are entering the professional world. I think you should enjoy the ride. If you love what you do, ladies and gentlemen, you will never work in your life. I think it's quite important. Then let me just go through the normal process of giving a convocation address. So you are entering a different world today. That world is very different from the world that your predecessors or people like us from another generation have entered. India was different, world was different, Kerala was different then. Can you imagine a time when there was no internet, there was no calculator? We used to do computations using slide rules. So that's the generation that we have started. But today, before I talk about the digital economy and all of those, let me actually say that the rules of the world are changing at a very fast pace. It's important, though boring, for us to understand. For instance, there are 5 things that I can quote to justify that statement that the rules of the game is fast changing. The number 1 is the accelerated push towards sustainability. You know, ladies and gentlemen, by 2050, in 26 years, we have to reach and we will reach net zero emission. This is going to completely change the way in which we produce energy, the way in which we use energy, store energy, and utilize it. This is going to disrupt almost all the industries that we are aware of. That's number 1. Number 2, what we see today, the increasing geopolitical tensions around the world, which is expected to again grow. I'm talking about Ukraine, Russia, China. All of this is remapping the global supply chain. What it means is that the manufacturing and the trade links and the lines that we see today is going to be very different going forward. And that is the world that you are going to enter into. Then there is something else that we can see. How many of you can relate, I don't know. But if you run a global business or if you're part of a global business, you will understand. There's a growing de-globalization trend that is taking place in the world. You know, you must have heard about, and I'm sure you would have studied in the classes, the liberalization, privatization, and globalization. By and large, globalization started seeking for global markets, but it also has another dimension, which is global sourcing. And the global sourcing take place from competitive markets, and particularly in terms of skills and labor cost, and which is displacing the jobs in the Western world, and the economy is struggling. So the developing world and the politics there is becoming much more protectionist, as a result of which we are seeing in this year there are going to be 40 countries where the leaders are going to be elected, and we will see much more protectionist tendencies in the developed world, which anyway is also going to impact the rules of the game or change the rules of the game. The other one is, you and me may not be aware, the world is aging and graying. We will have less people working to provide for more people. State of Kerala is an example. We have more retired people, we will have more retired people, senior citizens, and less people working for them. For example, in Germany in 2050, and so also in Japan, 35% less people will be working to provide for more people, about 90 million people in Germany. And the last but not the least, the uncertainties and the anxieties associated with the artificial intelligence, particularly Gen AI. So that's the reason why I say that the world that you are entering, the games, the rules of the game is changing, and you have to be ready for it. I'll give you some tips as to what could probably, in my view, make you guys successful. And I will, just to corroborate about the world, there was a survey, World Economic Forum's Global Risk Perception Survey was released, the 19th edition was released just a month back. And what it says, I'll tell you what that survey means. See, they conduct every year a survey as what the world perceives as the biggest risk. And this is done, first of all, with an 11,000 business executives who are the members of World Economic Forum, and another 1,500 people that they have surveyed. They are the leaders of academia, business, and also global international civil society leaders. And the survey talks about many risks, but I'll call out three, which will corroborate with what I said before. And the number one risk that they perceived in the world in the next 2 to 10 years is extreme climate or the environment. So what does it mean is that the first one, the accelerated push towards sustainability is going to not lose momentum. We will get there faster than perhaps we even have planned, because the perception of these people is what is going to make the future. Number two, the risk is the misinformation and the disinformation from AI and AI engines. It will be very possible for this speech that I am making here today is completely different and projected and broadcast all over the place, and the kind of damage that it can actually make. And the third risk, the World Risk Perception Survey report, is the polarization, the social and the political polarization that we see in many parts of the world, to some extent perhaps even in our country. And these are the three. The first one had 66% of all the CEOs, all the people surveyed, which include national leaders. And the second one, that is the risk associated with artificial intelligence, was 53%. And the last one, which is again the social and political polarization, was around 46%. And this is the world into which you are coming. And let me give you a little bit more a flavor of where we are. You would have heard about digital economy, have you? Digital economy, this term did not even exist until 2007, and United Nations first produced a report on this only in 2015. iPhones, after all, did not come out until 2007. And this economy today is 23% of the global economy. 23%. As someone introduced me, We serve the travel industry, which dates back to the beginning of humanity. And that's only 10% of the global GDP, whereas this hasn't even started in 2007, and it is already 23% of the global economy. And it's driven by our ability to collect, process, analyze massive and use massive amount of digital data, and it creates enormous wealth in no time. And it evolves at rapid pace. And all of this wealth is actually concentrated in the hands of few countries, few companies, and more dangerously so in the hands of few people. And that's the digital economy. And if you really look at digital economy, this is, when you talk about economy, you've heard about the north-south divide. You know, the traditional economy, the north-south divide, the developed countries in the northern hemisphere, and the developing or underdeveloped countries in the southern hemisphere. Whereas here, when it comes to digital economy, it's entirely shared between two countries, which is US and China. 90% of the market capitalization of all of the digital companies are in these two countries. That's the world you are getting in. I don't want to scare you, but that's the world that you are actually getting in. And if I then move on and then talk about what else is taking place in that world. Let's actually talk a little bit about AI and how this is going to impact us. The productivity, this is right on your face. The productivity impact of AI, particularly Gen AI, is going to have about 2.5 to 4.5% impact on GDP, or roughly about 2.5 trillion to 4.5 trillion, which is more than the GDP of UK. If I again look at artificial intelligence, and if I look at AI embedded in the current software which are used by companies, the impact can even be double of that. Now, where is this impact going to be? 75% of all of that impact is in three areas. Number one is customer operations, or sales and customer interactions. Tomorrow, when you are calling up an automobile company or even a apparel company, a clothes company, a jewelry, you may get an answer you think is an agent answering you, but it will be a chatbot answering you. And it will very quickly understand whether you are a functional buyer or an enthusiastic buyer, whether I am an automobile enthusiast, like for instance, I have an interest in cars. So it will immediately realize by the nature of my question, who is the caller, who could be what's the persona of the caller, and accordingly it will respond. So it can respond and give to me such details of the car, what is its torsional sphere, and what its turning radius, and what is the 0 to 100 kilometers, how much second it will take to accelerate everything. Whereas it's a functional buyer, you can actually give the basic functional requirements, how much fuel it will consume, plus what colors are available and things like that. So that's about sales and customer interaction. The second one, creative writing, I would say sales and marketing. AI can have maximum impact in sales and marketing. And if you look at the labor dynamics, how the number of jobs are going to go up and down in the coming years we will see that more and more jobs in the sales and marketing will come down, because all of the creative writings that we today pay for, that's what in marketing, the creative communication, that can be done so easily and so perhaps sometimes even much better by the machines. Now the third one, if any of you have joined an IT company or a software company like ours, the third one is software engineering. Today, 80% of the 5.4 million people who are directly employed by companies like ours, 80% of them are involved in the production of code, writing code. So somebody knows the business requirements and the functionality, and then there are teams who will sit down and program to generate code. Now, think of ChatGPT, and then if you really look at, asking the question, you want to build a library management system, for example, you would have done in your school or college. So you explain your requirement and give the right prompts, it will produce the code by itself. As I was actually telling your director that the impact of that could be initially maybe 20–30%, but as we teach the machine more, giving our standards, methods, frameworks, we will be able to get 60–70% accurate draft code. The impact of that is that we may not need as many people as software engineers to do the traditional jobs, but we probably wouldn't need prompting engineers who would be able to specify the requirements and the business needs than the coders. Which, of course, the work is moving up the value chain, but job displacements are going to happen. And I mentioned about what are the kind of jobs you will find today. Another very interesting thing, you are coming into all of you are employed. If you look at US, there are a lot of open job vacancies. At the same time, the unemployment is coming down too. How is that possible? There are open job vacancies. That means there are jobs, but you don't have people to actually fill them. The skill requirements are quite different. So that's another, the STEM jobs, the science, technology, engineering, math, those kind of jobs, demand will be there going up 20, 23, 20, 30 if I take. But if you really look at the extent of changes, skill requirement is going to be very high. In very simple terms that I can say this, what has taken us this far will not take us there. So continuous learning is going to be a part of your life going forward. Ladies and gentlemen, last year, if you really look at 2023, was a great year for the world. It was a very tough year for the world. Most of the economies did not grow. The G7 countries did not grow. India, I just generally tend to say this. You will find that smiling faces on the citizens in only very few countries. In many of the countries, you don't see that because those economies are struggling. So last year, the world hardly grew. Eurozone did not grow. In fact, in the G7 countries, in 4 years, from pre-COVID 2019 to 2024, the growth was absolutely minimal. US grew in 4 years, 7%. The rest of the G7 countries did not grow at all in the last 4 years. So things were not that easy for the world during that period. Now, talking about the changed world, the digital economy, the new economic situations and things like that, I will talk about one more thing and then get to what I think as some tips for success. I just want to highlight to you that COVID, the 3 years of COVID and perhaps more, has brought about some drastic changes and some permanent changes. I would say one is accelerated adoption of technology and the associated disruptions. Every business is trying to become a technology business. It does not mean that they are all becoming IT companies. What it means is that they all realize that they have to use technology. And therefore, the message to you, whether you are directly in technology or otherwise, the digital dexterity is important. Do you know what digital dexterity means? What is chopstick dexterity? It means our ability, our keenness to do something digitally and our capability to do something digitally. So you should be proficient in using technology. Today, each one of you through your smartphones or smart devices carry more technology than IBM used to have in 2020 altogether. So you should be able to use it. This is one of the challenges for all the corporations. How can we get people to use technology? So that's a very important one. Number two, the future of jobs are changing. That's what I said, the labor dynamics, the demand dynamics is changing. Continuous learning is an absolute requirement. Number three, that's more for the organizations. The operating models are changing. Once upon a time, everybody used to go in the morning in one direction to office and in the evening they would go back. That may not be the case. 25% of the workforce will work from anywhere in the world. So that's going to be a reality. So some of these changes are there. And again, there are so many things about what is the enterprise imperatives for progress in this kind of a scenario. If we have one more black swan event, like COVID, which are the kind of companies that will survive? I'll tell you two things. One, companies which are agile and people who are agile. And number two, companies which are finally enabling, engaging and empowering end consumer. Ladies and gentlemen, if you really look at the Uber Eats and the Amazon Fresh and the Zomatos and the Swiggies of the world, these are the ones who are actually finally giving the food or taking the food order from the end consumer. Everybody else in that value chain, the farmer, the logistics provider, the warehouse provider, the retailer, the wholesaler, the restaurant investor, restaurant chef, and all of them are basically cost plus, and the entire value or disproportionate to their contribution is captured by the end consumer, end agency, which is empowering the final end user. And why is it that? Because the consumption is amplified by that guy's behavior. So that's another change that's taking place. So much about the new world. And then if you summarize everything that I said as to how it can really help you and what should those be? What could be the success tips? I was just thinking, this is my own. What, for example, you can have professional success, personal success, entrepreneurial success, all kinds of success that's needed. And in terms of profession, all of you are going into profession. Some of you maybe started or already started or going to start your own enterprises. But the number one I would say, which I find missing, at least more often than not, is the context. Please be the context and know the context. What does it mean? If you're working in a company, working for a company in a particular role, please make sure that you know what you are doing, and you know why they are doing that, and you know how they are doing. It's very important. And you cannot live in isolation. No company can operate in isolation. I think it's important for you to understand the context. Number two, in my view, it's extremely important that you stay committed. If you're working for a company, you be totally committed. What does commitment mean, actually? It does not mean that you be the best or you want to claim that you are the best, but you should be able to say that you have given your best. I think you should be able to hand on heart say, I have given my best. Number three, be loyal. You know why? Be loyal to the institution which you are going to serve, whether it is your own or whether it is somebody else's by stakeholding. And the reason is because you cannot be your contributive, constructive, creative best unless you can be loyal. And if you can't be loyal, that may be because of a culture conflict, value conflict, or even your temperament conflict, then you quit and take up something else. It is extremely important that you are able to be loyal, not only, ladies and gentlemen, to your professional institution, but also in all relationships. Ladies and gentlemen, the longest running research in the world is conducted by Harvard, which is more than 80 years, started in 1938, with 760 people in that survey, in that group, including John F. Kennedy was in that group, and out of which 60 people are still alive. And the survey and this research study was to find out what makes you happy. And of course, every year they will keep asking the people. And one thing that has happened every year right up till today, and they will ask different questions to different people, and they still keep that 760. They keep replenishing those who are saying goodbye to this world, or those who are unable to actually participate and respond. But they finally, it all comes down to one thing: relationships. Life is beautiful because of relationships. And relationship with your organization, to your peers, your parents, your children, your friends. That loyalty is one core thing. Now, when it comes to personal success, of course, your personal success has an influence, or leadership success. It has an influence on your professional success too. The number one, I would say, for your personal success, which is very easy, be polite. It costs nothing for you to be polite, but you will be able to win a war. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have seen, knowledgeable people are very, very modest because they only know how little they actually know. It takes a lot of learning for us to know that we don't know much. And that's the reason why they are very modest. And politeness is a reflection of it. Arrogance is a demonstration of your weakness. Because you are absolutely, you know that you lack something. There's nothing wrong in lacking something. So it's very, extremely important. So one is politeness. The second one, I would say, be broad-minded, a bit kind. You know why? Because all of you are going to lead teams. So my answer is this: give all the credit to your team and all the bullets on your chest. Do you know what that means? That means all of the credit for all the success. Your only mission is to make others shine. But the entire light will completely come on you. All of those credits will come back to you in thousands. Very important learning for you. That's important. And the last, I would say, this is for your personal success. The last, I would say, always maintain a sense of ethics and integrity. Because your friends, your leader, just think about it. Would you accept your boss as your leader, manager as your leader, if you don't trust him? You will not. Because that's how human beings are. And that trust comes because you live the trust, and that happens because you are ethical, fair, and you have got a sense of transparency and integrity. I think that's important. And then some of you, hopefully, will start an enterprise, will become an entrepreneur if you are not already one. And for your entrepreneurial success, these are my experience. Number one, your purpose. Why do you want to start an enterprise? If that is for you to make money, please don't start. You will not succeed. Because there is nobody in the world sitting there to give you money. They are all sitting there to take service from you. And money comes along. It's one and the same. It's just that in one case, the horse is in front of the cart. Other pace. You put the cart in front of the horse and it doesn't move anywhere. mistakes others have made. So mentoring will help you, bypass the mistakes of others. So that's what I would again say. It is not important that everybody is an entrepreneur. Assuming I take it to the limit, everyone is an entrepreneur, that means we will have, if we have 100 people in a particular area, or if all 100 are entrepreneurs, then probably the economies of scale may not be. That is not what is important. What is important is that we keep an enterprising or an entrepreneur's mind of problem solving. Never give up. Yeah? Blood on the floor, I will fulfill my commitment. These are the traits of a successful entrepreneur. Yeah? Again, ladies and gentlemen, you are coming out to India, you are in the country of India and the state of Kerala. The Bob Stenfels, the CEO of McKinsey, was actually saying a few months back that he was asked by someone that, is it the decade for India? Is it India's decade? He says, no, it is India's century. That's very true. You are coming out to a world where there is so much opportunity. Why he said that? He said that because of three things. By 2047, when India is at 100, we will be 20% of the world's talent will be in this country. That demographic is going, 20% of the world's talent. Similarly, as I said, the geopolitical problems is remapping the global supply chain, and that means a lot of manufacturing is moving out of traditional places and coming to India, and we can be a great benefactor. And the third reason why he said India will be able to leapfrog in our developmental pursuits is because for the size, complexity, and still relatively low economic output of our country, India is highly digitized, so we should be able to leapfrog in our development pursuits. This is the country in which you are graduating and you are going out. So this should definitely help you guys. I don't want to take any more of my time. I've taken a bit more than what was allocated to me because the other two speakers were kind enough and they left some time behind. Yeah, I'm still overshot. Nevertheless, so I will leave you with few quotes. One of the quotes is this. That was done by Einstein. He said this: the world that we have created is a product of our thinking. ASB is a product of George's thinking. And if you want to change the world, you have to change your thinking. It's very important. Number two is, you can relate that to commitment to hard work. This is from Mark Twain. He said this: a person who cannot read, or has no disadvantage over a person who doesn't read, or a person who doesn't read doesn't have an advantage over a person who cannot read. Do you understand? All of the capabilities that you have has no use unless you put to use. You have no advantage over a person who doesn't have an MBA degree or any degree if you don't use it. I think that's very important. So that's where I will stop, ladies and gentlemen. It's an absolute pleasure for me to be here and spend this time with you. I wish you all the very best in your profession, in your life, and in anything that you are attempting to venture out into. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request our postgraduate program coordinator, Professor Deepu V, to continue with the rest of the convocation proceedings.
A very good afternoon to one and all present here. Presenting the Academic Excellence Awards first. We are thrilled to recognize the outstanding achievements of our students in the pursuit of academic excellence. These individuals have demonstrated unparalleled dedication, passion, and commitment to their studies, setting a remarkable standard for their peers. Without further ado, let's celebrate the recipients of this prestigious honor. Ms. Shruti Sundarraj for her exceptional achievement in securing the highest CGPA in the MBA class of 2020. I request our teacher, Mr. V.K. Matthews, to hand over the certificate, memento and a cash award of ₹10,000 to Ms. Shruti Sundarraj. Ms. Uma K.S. for her exceptional achievement in securing the highest CGPA in the MBA class of 21-23. I request our chief guest to hand over the certificate, memento and a cash award of ₹10,000 to Ms. Uma K.S.
And the cash award. Both the awards taken by ladies.
Congratulations to both the winners. Thank you, sir. And now, the moment we all have been waiting for, the recognition of our class of 2022 and 23 of Asian School of Business. Each student present today has demonstrated exceptional talent, perseverance, and determination, and we are immensely proud of their accomplishments. The students will receive their certificates from the chief guest as I call their names, and then return to their seats. I request our chief guest, Mr. V.K. Matthews, founder and executive chairman, IBS Group of Companies, to give away the certificates to the students. To start with, we'll have the class of 2022 to receive their certificates as I call their names. I request our director, Dr. C. Krishnakumar, to please join. Abhirami A of MBA 2020.
So here, sir. This turn, sir. Please come. Yeah, sir.
Afsal S. Akshaya VR. Alan Raj. Anaina S. Ashwini A.S. Ashwin M.S. Ashwin P. Atulya. Benson Joseph. Disney Rahim S. Chippy C. Devika Chandran. Dia B. Joseph, Gokul Krishna S. Harsha Harsha, Hima AP, Jamshia K. Bashir, Jaren Thomas, Karuna Lata D, Kiran Biju, Madhav M, Muhammad Ajmal SH, Nihar Nasser NR, Pooja MP, Gradual P, Rajashri SS, R. Archana, Rylin Thomas Rajan, Reshma D, Rishi B, Roshan Thomas Verghese, Sally Maria K, Sharon Rachel Sunny, Sneha yes, Rupana Biju,
ദിവസമാണ് ചാർജ്
Shruti Sundarraj, Tepi Susan Koshi, Sammy Sebastian,
ലൈറ്റ് മേളിൽ വെക്കട്ടെ, അവർക്ക് പോകണമെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു രാവിലെ. അവർ ഈ ലൈറ്റ് മേളിൽ വെക്കട്ടെ.
Tinto C. Jacob,
ഇമാർ ലെയർ കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഇമാർ
Vaishnu Pushpan, Varshaya, next we have the class of 2023 all the names. Abdul Hakim, Alia yes, Abhijit A, again Abhijit A, number 206. Abraham Benford, Adarsh Roy, Adil G. Sridhar, Apia S, Aishwarya Prakash, JU. Akshay Ajit.
Nice one, bro.
Akshaya Raj. Amina S. Ansar. Anakha PK. Anakha Lakshmi NS. Anand A. Anand SP. Anantika PI. Nancy Abraham. Anjali Krishna R. Anjana A. Anjana B. Anna Maria Joseph. Arjun CS. Arjun Pradeep. Aya Anandan. Ashwata Krishnan. Ashwin AS. Adira VS. Devin Antonio Denzel. Thomas. Chaitanya H. Chippy Ramachandran. Derek Matthew. Devika AP. Dheeraj Pila. Gautam Vinod. Gayatri TS. Giridhar JS. Govind Pratap P. Govind U. Harsha AV. Jayesh J. Jaivan Sunduma. Jimna Raj. Jinu Joseph. Joshni Jose. Jovia Annika. Jyotika SS. Kalyani B. Malavika N. Marilyn Linya AF. Mumtaz Ahmed, Muhammad Faisal Shahrukh, Mohsina Mansoor, Naina Nasir, Nathan S. Panikar, Pinky Vivekananda, Sahina P.S., Salha Sulaiman, Samin Kamal, Sanjay S., Shanti Priya P., Sandra Krishna, Sayyid Ali N., Shabana KB, Shivaram MS, Sneha Sadisha, Sneha SS, Subhana Sulfi, Suhanish Sunil Kumar, Uma KS, Vishal SJ, Vivek A, Yaksha Sriman.
Yes, you will normally be the last in the class. And all working
Thank you, sir. Now I request all the students to please rise for the pledge. Graduating students, please repeat the pledge after me as I read it. As we stand on the threshold of our futures, we the class of 2022 and 23 solemnly pledge our dedication to the ideals of knowledge, integrity, and service. With gratitude for the opportunities bestowed upon us by our alma mater, we vow to uphold the highest standards of academic and ethical conduct in all our endeavors. We commit ourselves to the pursuit of truth, the advancement of learning, and the betterment of society through the application of our skills and talents. We shall refrain from corruption, unfair competition, or business practices harmful to the society. We pledge to keep the values of the Asian School of Business and shall always try to apply our knowledge for the betterment of our society and bring glory to our institute. Graduating students, please turn around and bow your heads to your parents. Please take your seat. A loud round of applause for the class of 2022 and 2023 locations. On behalf of the ASP fraternity, I wish all the students a successful and glorious career. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Once again, I congratulate all the graduating students and wish them the very best. Now, I invite Professor George Thomas, faculty member ASP, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you. A warm and grateful afternoon to our Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. V.K. Matthews, founder and chairman of IBS Software Services, Mr. George M. Thomas, chairman of Asian School of Business, and the manager. Thanks and acknowledge the contributions of those who really worked hard to make this event possible. I am Professor George Thomas, and on behalf of Asian School of Business and the entire fraternity of this institution, I extend my sincere gratitude to the Almighty for making this event a grand success. First, our big appreciation goes to the distinguished chief guest, Mr. V.K. Matthews, who, in spite of a busy schedule, graced this occasion. Sir, your speech was very thought-provoking and should make us all think. Now, obviously, I happened to hear his speech, and there are a couple of points I thought I need to highlight, especially for the future managers in you. The first point that he mentioned was that love your work. The moment you are passionate about what you do, you become the best. And he is an epitome of that. I'm sure Mr. Matthews loved his work so much that when he set up his company in 1997, IBS Software, and in 25 years' time, it became a global company in terms of the activity that they have done. So that's an immense achievement for an entrepreneur from Kerala. That was the first point. Very relevant for the future managers sitting out here. Then he was talking about the challenges, which can all be business opportunities for each of you. The first was about global warming. The second was about disruption in supply chain, what's happening in China, what's happening in between the war between Ukraine and Russia, the war that's happening between Israel and Gaza, the aging economy, which is happening in the West. Simultaneously, the same situation is happening in India. Again, I want to highlight, these are all huge opportunities. Now, the future managers, as I always tell you in the class, the smart guys are people who understand the opportunities, take advantage of the situation. Everything that Mr. V.K. Matthews has mentioned is a huge opportunity. Now, you're smart as whether you want to take advantage of it. But what I really liked about what he mentioned was about the growth prospects of a country like India. What he said is absolutely true. This century belongs to India. When India is growing at about 6.7%, you're talking about China, which is growing at about 3.7%. You're looking at US economy, 2.4%. Countries like Italy, countries like Japan, countries like Switzerland, growing at negative economy. So once again, sir, thank you for your insightful thoughts, and we're really happy that you came over to grace this function. Thank you so much. Second, I would like to thank Mr. George M. Thomas, Chairman of Asian School of Business, who is always a pillar of support for all the activities at ASB. Sir, thank you very much for being present on this occasion. Next, I would like to thank Dr. C. Krishnakumar, Director of Asian School of Business, whose positive initiatives and generous contributions made this convocation possible. Thank you so much. Also, I would like to thank Mrs. Mary George, member of Asian School of Business Society, Ms. Sapnu George, Executive Director, Trins Group of Schools, Mr. Richard Hilbrand, Principal and Director of Academics, Trins Group, Mr. Sanjay Prabhakaran, PYP Coordinator, Mr. Koshi Thomas, Chief Advancement Officer, Trins Group, and Mr. Ramesh Nilakant, the Consultant Auditor. We are truly honored to have you all out here. Once again, thank you all for being out here, especially the parents and students who took the effort to attend this convocation event in spite of your busy schedule. And to all my colleagues, teaching as well as non-teaching staff, wishing you all the best and have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
I declare Convocation 2024 closed.
Please join us for high tea, which will be served outside. And I request everyone to remain seated till we escort our chief guest out of the hall.